everybody. I just wanted to make a quick video just to talk about how to write a lesson plan. This is going to be a fairly quick version of an actual lesson on how to write a lesson plan. I just wanted to give you some quick tips and tricks and pointers. So for the sake of this lesson plan, I'm going to pretend that I tested a student. So I wrote my name, student's name, Steve Montes. The tutorial date, I'm going to pretend that I tested him and I had a tutorial meeting with him today. First grade, 6 years old, and I highlighted what meeting we're in. You'll notice that you have the Common Core standards, the objectives, and the assessment. We have to remember, as always, that our assessment drives our lesson plan. Our assessment allows us to create appropriate objectives that match the Common Core standards that need to be taught at any specific grade level. So we'll start with right here with high frequency words. We'll notice that the assessment that I gave was Fry's high frequency word assessment. The miscues, or the words that he got wrong, I wrote them down here. Based off of this, then I wrote my objective, very explicit. Student will recognize the following high frequency words. I picked 5 of the list that he missed. How does this look like? You would look right here at your data sheet. You'll notice that I printed out the list, and as Steve was reading the words, I was marking down which ones he got wrong. So you notice the first column here, he only got these 2 wrong. Second column here, you'll notice he got 5 wrong, but I let him finish that column. I wrote a squiggly up to where those 5 were wrong. And then here I wrote down the words that he missed. And then based off of these words, I picked the objective. We're going to focus this week on identifying these words. So now I have to go make sure that there is a standard that is driven by my assessment to be able to teach my objective. Okay, so where did I go to get my standard? I went to corestandards.org, and we do have to write Common Core standards, and they do have to be at grade level. So I went to read the standards, and then I picked English, which took me here. So it gives you the standards from K through 12, and I scrolled down and I picked reading foundational skills. Then I picked the grade level first grade because he is a first grader. And I scrolled down until I found a standard that was appropriate to what I needed. So I scrolled, you'll read some that segment spoken single syllable words, not what I'm working on. But if I come down here, I see, oh, it says recognize and read grade appropriate irregularly spelled words. Perfect. I can work with that standard when it comes to high frequency words. Then I went to my phonics, and yes, we do have to have 3 standards, 1 for each section. So I went to my phonics section and I looked at my assessment. Then sure enough, I was able to give that Eckwall-Schenker test 3A. And I wrote down all of the miscues, the things that the student had missed. I went down, identified the words that he missed, the sections that he missed. And based off of my assessment, then I wrote, student will read short U words in a text written at his level. And I noticed that based off of the words that were missed. Okay. On your data sheet, it would look something like this. And again, for the sake of just practice, I didn't mark this part up like you would have, but I did want to show this is what it would look like in each column, identifying the words that were missed. So now I know that, he missed 2 here, 6 here. So I'm looking through and I'm identifying them. I'm realizing, okay, he's having a hard time with this section. How do I know that? Because when I put my totals here and I added up, I noticed that he's at a 63 and a 65 is mastery. So he has not mastered this application of phonics skills. Okay, so I'm going to practice that. I identified what he missed. I wrote my objective, and I'm going to make sure that my standard matches that objective. So sure enough, I went through again to the Common Core website, and I found the appropriate objective. For language, I had the informal writing assessment, and the student wrote 2 sentences, and I noticed that as he was writing those sentences, I needed to remind him to put punctuations and capital letters. So my objective is going to be writing 2 sentences using correct punctuation. Important to note that if you want to find a writing standard, you will go to the language section right here. So you see, we were in the reading foundational skills, but language is where you will find your writing assessment, writing objective, and then you'll go to that grade level. And again, you'll go through and find the standard that appropriately matches the student's needs. Okay. Let's say that last tutoring session I did not get to the writing sample. You would write NA here and then NA here. I haven't assessed for it. I don't know the need, but I will assess for it so I can understand what my baseline is. I went through and I made sure that I wrote down all of the lesson materials that I need. Remember, you're going to explicitly address each section. So each section should have its own activity, which means it should have its own materials. And then in the sequence of the lesson, I'm writing step by step what we will be doing. So here, I put the welcome back message. Look at that. It's supposed to be his. Welcome back message. Make sure that you're writing the appropriate pronouns for the student. You're going down and you're looking to make sure that you're writing step by step explicitly what your lesson will be. I did a welcome back message. Here's my first instruction with the high frequency words, explicit instruction. So then you'll notice these 3 sections here are high frequency words. Then I have a brain break. Now I'm having word play, short U, that's my second objective, another brain break. And then my third objective, that writing objective, is writing. And then we read, and then my final goodbye, the song. Let's say you didn't get to that writing objective last tutoring session. You would write right here, receive or administer an informal writing prompt to get a writing sample. Okay, so you will tell me, these are the steps that I have. This is the data that I gathered from my last assessment. I'm applying it in this manner with these activities. And even though I might not have the data for the writing sample, I will be able to get it by the end of our tutoring session. And then your evaluation and reflection, where you're telling me, how did the lesson go? Was there anything that you could have changed? Is there anything that you then noticed, Steve needs to work on this a little bit more, and how maybe for the future you can, tweak or change a couple of things. In your evaluation, always make sure to write your successes, because those are absolutely important, but then also write those areas of growth where you tell me what you can improve on and what the student needs for that next tutoring session. Okay. So again, very quick and simple way of writing the lesson plan. Please remember to use Common Core standards. The website I recommend is corestandards.org. And as always, if you have any questions or you need some clarification, please let me know.